Okay, we learn about the missing values, and there are some ways if we do not want to drop. Okay, do you still remember what is the meaning by drop? Drop means we want to delete or remove the missing value. Okay. If we remove the missing values, then we will not use that data. If you see from the previous example, we have only several missing values. When you remove it, no problem. But yeah, sometimes rather than dropping NA values, it has some option to replace them with a valid value. This value might be a single number like 0, or it might be some sort of imputation or interpolation from the good values. So usually we call this is data imputation. Data imputation. And you could do this in place. It means you can do directly in your data and finding the is null as a mess. But there will be also another operation in pandas. There is fill NA. Okay? And it returns a copy of the array with the null value replaced. So if you already learned about the drop NA is to remove the missing value. Now we're going to learn about fill NA, filling the non-available data. Okay, let's get back to this data. So you know that we have the name, weight, and new column. And the weight, there are 2 missing value. In name, there is 1 missing value. Now we want to check if I want to fill. Okay, we can fill NA entries with a single value. Let's say, yeah, I do not want to have NA, so I want to change with 0. Then I can replace. In this case, I call the column name. The column name is weight, and then I use fill NA 0. Okay. So the missing values or the NA now has been replaced with 0. If you run again, what happened? The data still NaN, because you do this one in order to check if you change the value NaN into 0, then yeah, you will see this one, but it does not change the data frame. So it does not change the data miss. There is no 0 for this one. It only affect to in the array or in the series. Yeah. So you can specify a forward fill to propagate the previous value forward. What does it mean? If I use ffill, okay, if I use ffill like this one, you can see here, I do not use only a specific column. I use the data frame. Okay. In this case, I'm using the fill NA again, but I directly use on the data frame. And I use some methods. There are some methods on this fill NA. I think I will just teach you 2. Okay. The first is ffill. What is ffill? Ffill is forward fill. So the NN data will be filled with the previous data. So you can see we have 65, okay, and we have 68. how we can get this value? Because we have the previous value, which is 65, and this one because we have the previous value, which is 68. So the Python or the pandas will detect the previous list, and then they put it in the forward values. Okay, they put it in the forward values. The same with this one, Bob. Actually, this one is missing in the previous one, but now we change or we replace the next missing value with the previous value. Maybe you think that, oh, this is so strange. Yes, this is a little bit strange, but yeah, you need to match whether you want to change this with a forward or with another method. So you can specify the column later, like what we did previously, only for the specific column. We have also another method, we call it BackFill, to propagate the next value backward. What does it mean? If the previous one we use the ffill, now we use the BackFill, okay? Bfill. So we are using the bfill in order to check the next, the value will be replaced with the next value. So the next value will replace the missing value. Now, what happened to this one? We don't have the next item. So this item still in missing value. Okay, then this is one of the weakness of this bfill. So you need to determine whether you want to use ffill or bfill, and there are some other methods. For example, I think I will explain it later in the other example. Okay. Notice that if a previous value is not available during the forward fill, then the NA value remains. Okay. So if the first data is also missing, then the second data will be also missing. So I would like to give you one example from a data set that I already shared to you. So we are going to learn how to handle the standard missing values, how to handle the non-standard missing value, and unexpected missing values. So please read this data. We have property data.csv. So in the data, if you go to the property data.csv, this is the data. If you take a look on the CSV file, you can see, okay, this is missing, and this is noise. This is noise, I guess. This is NA, but it's not standard. And then this is NaN, okay, and this is missing, and it is not standard. So let's take a look on the Jupyter notebook. What is this data? So this is the data about property, and we have the PID, it means the property ID, and STnum, it is a street number. STname, it is the street name, and then unoccupied, whether the owner occupied the room or not, and it should be yes or no. The number of bedrooms, it means the number of bedrooms in the property, and then the number of bathroom, okay, the number of bath, and then the square feet or the size of the room. Now you will see here NaN. Okay, based on the CSV file, we can see that there is no data here, so that's why it is NaN, and it's also NaN, and it is also NaN. But what about this unoccupied? Unoccupied, they have Y and N, but is it correct? Okay, it seems that we have noise. Okay, so when we have noise, what will we do? So I will teach you later. Okay? And then the number of bedrooms. So the number of bedrooms here, we have integer number. Okay, but when we have the integer number, we have dash like this one, which is not common, or it is not standard. NA, it is also not standard, because we know that in Python it should be NaN. Okay. And the number of bedroom, we have one. Okay. Oh, what happened here? 1.5. Is it possible? Yeah, okay, maybe the other bedroom is smaller than the other one, so it's just half. Okay, maybe. Okay, but this is something wrong. We don't expect this in the number of bedroom. And about the square feet also, we have dash, and okay, NaN is common, but this is not common. So how can we handle this data? Okay. If you take a look on the head there, you know, we can see only the first 5 data. So for the standard missing value, if I want to check from the street number, the street number is unique. What can we do with this one? Yeah, maybe just random is also fine. And if we want to check whether it's null or not, okay, we can see true. Yeah, it is null. So that's standard. Okay, but what about if we have non-standard missing values? Yeah, like this one, like I mentioned before, it is non-standard, like this dash and this NA, it is non-standard. If you check with is null, what happened? It shows false. It shows false. So Python understand that those row or those cells are available with the data. So pandas recognize the NA as a missing value. Unfortunately, the other types were not recognized. If there is multiple user manually entering the data, then this is a common problem. So maybe I like to use N-A, but you like to use NA. Okay, so yeah, this kind of problems exist. Okay. So an easy way to detect those various formats is to put them in a list. And we need to import the data, and pandas will recognize them right away. Okay, so let's see. I make this list. So after check all the data, I know that the missing values are using this symbol, and some of them are this one. So this is the common missing values. For the other noise, let's check it later. Okay. So if I know that those are the missing value, I put it into a list, and I put into a variable missing values. And I will read one more time the CSV. And now I will put the parameter NA underbar values. So I want to define what is the missing value in my CSV file. When I read this one, So you can see any data like this one. Now it becomes NaN. In the previous example, we show the dash. Okay. I guess this one also we saw this is as dash, and we saw this is as Na. Now the pandas change those into NaN. NaN is a missing value format in Python. And yeah, you can see again the number of bedrooms. Now you can see there are NaN, 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 and NaN. And if you take a look with the is null, then we can get true, 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 and true. Okay. So you need to understand the format of the missing value so you can fit into the pandas. We have unexpected missing value. How we can handle the unexpected missing value? For example, this one. Actually, it is a missing value. Okay. Maybe you can say it is noise. Yes, we can say it is noise, but it is a missing value. Instead of noise, I think this is also missing value, or yeah, missing the input. If you check this one, yeah, you can see only one is missing, but the other one is not missing, or it is not error. So yeah, there is a number 12. The response for owner occupied should clearly be a string y or n. So this numeric should be a missing value. So to understand the next cell, we will learn the basic concept of try except. Okay. I guess I don't explain to you the try except. Let's see the try except. While true. Do you know what does it mean? Inside of the while, okay, this is repeat. Okay, repetition while true is not missing value. Okay, so if the condition is true, you can repeat. Okay, please enter a number. Let's say I input 5. Okay, so because it is the condition is true, okay, when you finish the input and then break. Okay, but what happens if I input the wrong format? This one integer, I need to get back an integer value. So if I put a, what happened? Is error because I want integer, but the input is a string. Okay. Now we can handle this error. Okay. The error appears when the input is not available. So in order to avoid the program stop, so I do not want the program stop. So try to use try and except. So this one is more complex, but it helps you when you make a program, when you have the error from the user, the program will not end. The program will not stop immediately, but it gives like warning. So the user can repeat again the process. Okay. So for example, while true, and then we put the try, and then we put the except. This is still the same. Okay. But we put this one in order to avoid stopping the program. Let's say if I have 5, it is still the same like this one. But if I do one more time with a, then you can see there is no error. Okay, so no error is important. because when you have error, the program stops. If you use this method, try and accept, the program will keep going. And it shows only the message that you have no valid number. And then it keeps asking you again. Maybe you put B, okay? So it keeps asking you again. Okay? And then until if you put number, then it finishes. Okay? So with this try except, it will be very helpful for you to make a good program. So this another example. If you have a function, this fails. You know that every number divided by 0 is invalid. Okay, x equals to 1 divided by 0. It is invalid. So if I want to run this function, I know that there will be a condition that this function is invalid. So I can put try except, and then yeah, let's say I know the error. Okay, 0 division error. If it happens the 0 division error, please print the runtime error with the error message. So you can see this error message is division by 0, but it is not printing the error message. The program still running. Okay, this example is a little more complicated, so we need to think through a strategy detecting the steps of missing value. There's a number of different approaches, but here's the way that I'm going to work through this one. Okay. So you can propose another way to handle the missing value, but this is my idea. Okay, let's say I want to make the looping, and then I want to check for every of the data, for every row in the column unoccupied. Let's check. And if the row is NBN, okay, no problem. But if the row is not NPNAN, yeah, pass. Okay, I hope that you understand with this one from the previous try except. So I can run this. I will count by 1 for every time I find the value which is not correct. Okay. So it is to detect the numbers. After I do this one, the data has been changed. Okay, so we can see that we have the NAN here. Okay, can you understand? The INT means if we can convert the data into integer, then change to NPNAN. If we cannot change it, then error. If it is error, then pass. Pass means go to the next, or we can continue. Okay. So that's the result. And then if I want to check is null, now I can see that, okay, there are 2 null values in this unoccupied. Okay, how if we want to summarize the missing values? Now I can see that here in the PID, the property ID, we have 1. In the street number, we have 2. In the ST name, we have no missing value. Unoccupied, we have 2. Bedroom, we have 4. Number of bedroom, we have 1. And the square feet, we have 2. So you can see there are many missing values. And what should we do? So the first part for handling the missing value, we need to make all the stuff change all the missing values into NaN format. After you change to NaN format, then you will see this kind of summary. After you have this summary, then this is only to check whether you have missing value or not in your data. If it is true, it means you have at least, if it is true, you have at least one missing value. So if you have at least one missing value, it will show you true. So it is the data one that is null dot values dot any. If you want to sum, I want to know how many missing values that I have in this data. So you can do the sum is null. So I would like to sum all the data which is null and then do the summation for whole columns, for whole attributes. So we have 12 missing values. So let's get back to this data. After you modify with the for loop and after you modify with the list, you can see now we can try to handle. But what about this? Can you handle this one? Okay, try by yourself. Okay. Now, let's say for the street number, I'm not sure the street number, but maybe I just want to replace with a fixed value. Okay, what is the fixed value? Now I have the 1 to 5. Okay, I will just replace with 1 to 5. And then I use in place is true. Okay, what does it mean? So if I do not use in place, so the default is in place equal to false. Okay, if you do not use in place, your data frame will not be changed. If you put the true, your df will be changed accordingly. Okay, okay, that's good. Yeah, you can save it. Okay, so when we save into this in place, you will see this one 1 to 5 and 1 to 5 is in the street number. If I want to change the street number in a particular location, okay, so I know that the position here is 1 to 5, but I want to change it to 130. So I can specify the location and then I can specify the column name and then I can specify the value. When I do this one, then you can see that the data has been changed to 130. Okay. A very common way to replace the missing value is using median. Let's say the number of bedrooms. Yeah, we don't know what should we use to replace the value. So I will just use median and I expect to find the median of the bedroom. So in the bedroom, we have 3, 3, 1, 3, 2. Okay. So I will like to know the median. After we know the median, okay, the median is 3. So how about if we replace the missing value with the median? Then we will call again the median is the value of the median from the bedroom, and then Let's fill the NA with the median and then in place equal true. So we will replace the value that is missing with the median in the column num bedrooms. So you will see that the num bedrooms, yeah, this has been changed, and this has been changed, and this has been changed. Okay. What about the square width? Let's say I want to change the square width with mean. Okay, I want to change with the average. So I can just use the average or mean. I think you already know how to calculate the mean, how to calculate the median from a series. Okay. So we put into a variable, and then we want to fill an A with the mean. And then don't forget in place true into the column square width. So after we have this, then the square width now has been changed. Okay, the mean is 1100. So the missing value has been changed with 1100. After you replace with all the possible values, let's say I want to drop the missing values. So it is much better because if you directly drop, maybe you will get only 2 data or 2 rows. But when you handle the missing value with the imputation, what is imputation? We put the values median, we put the values mean, and we replace other values with some possible values. So we can still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So at least we have 6 data for our analysis. Okay, so yeah, I hope that this example will be helpful for you because there are many issues with the missing values. So this is about the missing value and how we handle the missing value, and it shows some methods to handle the missing values. And yeah, we have one example to handle the missing values. Okay. Any questions?